scissors, she made quick work of the ragged stems, trimming them to an even, scant few inches below where the bottom of the ribbon would lie when she added it the next morning. Then Jacinta would deliver the full shipment to the church well before the morning's 11 o'clock wedding mass. Bouquet complete, she moved to the walk-in cooler, yanking open the heavy door inset with a 12 by 12-inch window to reveal the rainbow contents within. She stepped inside, cold air washing over her, raising goose flesh on her forearms as she lowered the bouquet into the waiting vase of water. Now all the bouquet needed the next morning was a quick wrap of smoky silver satin ribbon, secured with a line of pearl-straight pins, before being placed into the bride's hands. Perfect. A quick scan of the cold room confirmed the arrangements she'd already checked and rechecked: boutonnieres for the groom and ushers, corsages for the mothers nestled in clear plastic containers to protect the fragile blooms, the smaller hand-tied bouquets for the bridesmaids, twin altar arrangements, and a dozen pew arrangements for the church, and another container of loose amnesia and white roses for the wedding cake. She cast a disparaging glance in the direction of the amnesia roses. Gorgeous, but lately they were a nagging reminder of what she'd lost and a physical representation of her shortcomings. Still, she wouldn't allow those failings to ruin a couple's special day. She would do what was required to make sure everything was perfect. She left the cooler, firmly latching the door behind her, as if she could similarly lock those same shortcomings away. At the counter, she couldn't refrain from a quick check of the order one more time before she slipped it into the file folder. Another glance at the clock as it ticked past 9 o'clock told her this job had taken far too long. All her fault, but it was why she preferred to work the late shift in the shop, closing up at 7 o'clock and then working until the job was finished. Jacinta didn't know how many overtime hours she'd worked since coming back. She wouldn't force her boss, who had been nothing but understanding and endlessly flexible following her release from the hospital, to pay for the work that used to come as naturally as breathing, and now was a marathon of uncertainty and triple checking. She'd yet to make an error, but her self-confidence remained in tatters, nonetheless. She'd never meant to stay this long. Now the light had long faded away, meaning a wait for the bus in the dark, an idea that sent a shiver of terror down her spine. She'd meant to still have the safety of the last of the day's light for the return trip, but had lost track of the time. Get it done, then figure out your next step. She splayed fingers over the open notebook on the counter, reviewing the list outlining everything that needed to be done to close the shop for the night, securing the small amount of cash, reviewing the receipts, making sure the live plants had been watered and the cut blooms in the cold cabinet up front had sufficient volume, taking out the trash, shutting off the lights, locking up. All steps she knew by heart from before, but she wouldn't allow herself to make a mistake and didn't trust herself not to. She was well aware of how far she'd fallen, of how low her confidence ebbed. Even when she knew what to do because that knowledge was cemented in memories formed before her world turned upside down. She closed the notebook and slipped it into a back pocket of jeans that carried the pale outline of its constant presence. Then she gathered the trash into a black garbage bag and dragged it to the rear of the shop. Jacinta had told her repeatedly to leave the garbage for her to do first thing the next morning in the light, but Quinn felt guilty leaving extra work for her. Though she appreciated her boss's care and concern for her well-being, especially when it came to working alone at night following her attack, the alley was behind a locked, barred gate, and the trip there and back would only take 60 seconds at most. She unlocked the deadbolt and stepped out into summer humidity so thick it flowed over her skin.